Hi Dollar Divas, welcome to Behind the Vanity. I'm Jessica. So today's video, I'm going to be sharing some of my low buy or no buy tips. I know a low buy, or even worse, a no buy, can be incredibly difficult, but it really doesn't have to be. I've done a couple, I'm currently on one myself, and I've kind of acquired a few tips and tricks to really not only help make it bearable, but really to actually make it a kind of a good time. I'm not gonna lie. Seriously, I know it sounds crazy, but anyways, hear me out. Before we get into today's video, if you enjoy content like this, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. It helps me and my channel out so very much. So if you wanna hear my best low buy, no buy tips, definitely keep on watching. So my first tip in making a low buy or a no buy more successful, more bearable is kind of gauging how you're feeling. And that will be particularly helpful in deciding whether or not you are going to do a low buy or a no buy. So in other words, like for instance, I'm on kind of a no buy at the moment, mainly because there's really not anything that I'm seeing that's really particularly interesting. So I'm just going with it. Since I'm not really particularly excited about anything that's been out in the last month or so, I just decided, hey, now's a good time to go on a no buy. So kind of gauge how you're feeling. If you're seeing a lot of makeup that is piquing your interest, maybe don't make it a no buy. Maybe make it a low buy. Or better yet, give it some time, buy some things, and maybe reschedule this whole idea for a month from now and see how you're feeling in a month from now. It's so much easier to, our feelings come and go. We go through waves of feeling one way and the other. And with a low buy and a no buy, I think it's important to ride the wave. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. So gauge how you're feeling, decide which one is better for you, and go with that one. It's just as simple as that. Like I said, it's really easy for me right now. So I'm going with it, and I'll go with it as long as it feels this way. I will go with it and just go from there. So that is a very important one, I feel, and that's one that kind of just snuck up on me. So I think that's a very good tip. So tip number 2 is, if it's easy for you to really not buy a lot or buy it all right now, go with it and don't give it a time frame. That's what I'm doing. I don't currently have a time frame on this no buy. And if it is a little bit harder, give it a time frame. And that time frame is different for everybody. I mean, some people can go a whole year. I don't think I could do a whole year. I know that I can't go a whole year. So give it, if you can do 6 months, that's great. I don't think I could do 6 months. Although I think I have before. I think a couple years ago I did do like 6 months. I can't remember the exact time frame. Anyways, I digress. But yeah, if it's easy, just keep going with it. Don't put a cap on it. Just go with it as long as it's feeling like it's something you want to do. But if it is a little bit harder, put a time frame and give it something reasonable. If it's really, really, really hard for you, give it a month. Give it 2 weeks and just see how you do. Sometimes the worst thing we can do is put something in a box, because then it makes you feel really trapped. So don't put it in too tight of a box. Make it reasonable. Make it a small goal. Go a week. If you're the kind of person that you buy a lot in a week, and a week would be a big achievement, then put a week on it. If it's 2 weeks, do that. If a month is reasonable, do that. So just make the time frame work for you. There are no rules. These are your rules. That's the beauty. A no buy and a low buy, when you go on one, it's your rules. That's the great thing about it. So tip number 3 is to play games with your current collection. Of course, during this time where you're not really buying a lot or anything, you have a makeup collection. And the odds are, if you're on a no buy or a low buy, you probably have a very healthy, if not ridiculous, makeup collection. So enjoy it, play games. I find what helps me is to dupe palettes that are coming out. See how close you can come. You will be amazed at how many palettes that come out where you literally will have multiples of not just a few, but maybe all of the shades. And it's super fun, and it really does rewire your brain. Sometimes the only thing that can get you in that is like packaging, because people do like palettes and stuff for the packaging. But especially if that's not important to you, definitely try duping palettes. It really does help. Palette bingo is another really fun way to kind of get out of a rut with your current collection. You know, you think, I don't have any, I have all this makeup and nothing to wear. Play palette bingo. Take a palette, randomly select 5 colors and try to work with it. You know, all that kind of stuff. You know, you can do a 1 palette challenge. Try to get yourself to use 1 palette for a period of time. And you'll be amazed at how you feel about that palette, good, bad, or otherwise, when the time frame is up. Try to do a panning project. Try to see how close you can come to using something up. All kinds of things like that will help. It might not sound like it as I sit here telling you this, but if you try it in a couple days or a period of time, you will see that you will feel unstuck. It will make you feel differently, I promise. I know it doesn't seem like it, but it is really fun, I promise. Tip number 4 is do not be hard on yourself. Again, when you go on a low buy or no buy, it's your thing, it's your rules. There are no low buy, no buy police that are gonna come and arrest you and take you away or anything like that. If you break a rule, it's no big deal. I mean, that's a recipe for failure, honestly. So don't be hard on yourself, you know? If you went on a no buy and you bought something, well then maybe switch to a low buy or just move on. I mean, it's gonna happen. You know, the point of a low buy or no buy is to really just create like an awareness of what we already have. And you can buy stuff while still being aware of what you have. It's kind of the mindless spending, like us just buying stuff over and over and over without thinking about it. Some of us can be very mindful and buy a lot, and some of us can be very not mindful and not buy as much. It just depends, you know what I mean? So don't be hard on yourself. It's not the end of the world. So tip number 5 is actually a tip that I learned from Kelly Gooch here on YouTube. She has an amazing video that gets you to stop buying so much makeup or so many palettes. I will link it down below in the description box. But she had this one tip that literally changed my life. And so I know eyeshadow palettes are particularly hard. I know they are for me. When I want new makeup, it's usually an eyeshadow palette. Palettes are definitely my weakness. So usually in every palette, there will be a couple, like 1 or 2, maybe 3 colors that pop to you, like they'll stand out. And usually that is what makes us want to buy the palette. That's what pulls us in. So her tip was to cover up the couple of shades that stand out to you and see how you feel about the rest of the palette. You will be amazed at how underwhelming the palette looks to you when you do that. And it will literally rewire your brain to be completely underwhelmed with a palette. You know, so if you love buying palettes, thank you, Kelly, for ruining it for us. No. I'm just kidding. I love that tip. That tip it saved me a bunch of money. So for instance, in this Too Faced Pineapple palette, the 2 shades that stand out to me are these 2 shades right here. And if you cover them up, you are left with really just a neutral palette. Now granted, it's pretty, but that's definitely more eye-catching. So literally you will find that this trick works with just about every palette. So give it a try. Go look up some pictures of palettes and give it a try, or try in your own collection. I'm telling you, it works a lot. Now I don't know what to tell you as far as other makeup products go, but that is definitely a really good, palettes are your weakness, that is a fabulous one. So tip number 6 is kind of a perspective thing. You know, we do keep buying and buying. And why do we keep buying? Not generally because we need, but it's because we want. And what do we want? We want that newness. You know, there is just something so comforting and something that feels so good about getting something new. You know, that newness of that new palette, that new exciting thing. But think back to your collection. Every piece of makeup you own has been new. And what has happened? The newness has worn off. So this isn't to take away, like I'm not trying to be a bird crusher or anything like that, but if you are wanting to do a low buy or no buy and you're wanting some motivation and you're wanting to be successful at it, know that whatever you buy, the newness is gonna wear off. It's gonna wear off. And that might be enough, thinking about that might be enough to prevent you from making some purchases that you don't want to really make, that you might just be doing impulsively, or to just get you through this time. So definitely keep that in mind. And my last tip, tip number 7, is consider it a pause. It's not final. You're not buying anything ever again. You're not. So it's just a pause. It's, again, it goes back to time. It's whatever time frame that you want it to be. There is nothing about a low or no buy no one ever says forever with these things. So it is not forever. Don't make it forever. That's ridiculous. It's temporary. It's whatever time frame you want to put on it. And know that. I mean, just know it going in. I mean, channel that knowledge. You know when you're doing it, it is not forever. So just really keep that in perspective. Really don't let it get you down. You know what I mean? And just persevere and keep going, knowing that it is not permanent. So I hope that you find these tips useful, and comment down below if you are on or have ever been on a low buy or a no buy and how it worked out for you. Like I said, I'm currently on a no buy, I would say, and it's been very successful, and I have implemented pretty much all of these tips. So they work for me, and I hope they work for you as well. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, show me by giving it a big thumbs up by hitting that like button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.